Well, hi, regular EV Dad. John here. Hope you're well. This video is one I've been wanting to do for a while. Before we get into it, I just want to talk to you about my research before compiling it. This is, as you've already read the description, a review of the Mach-E. Now, there are loads of reviews of the Mach-E. Every single, the car's been out a while. They've sold thousands of units. I see them on the road all the time. I've seen them on the road across the country. So there's nothing groundbreaking here. But not every journalist approaches it from the same use case as I do, which is suitability for a family and what compromises will need to be made. Now, the reason why I'm doing this little piece here from the studio is because, unfortunately, I had zero assistance from Ford producing it. And I wish that wasn't the case. I've reached out to Ford. I have had zero answers and zero replies, and that's it. But I will not allow that to cloud my judgment, but it does cloud the amount of time for in-person research I've been able to conduct and footage time. It also is why, because I haven't been credentialed to have access to Ford Media, means I can't even insert B-roll of this. And like I said, I didn't have a huge amount of time for production. So a little bit, if you're first time meeting me, a little bit about my process and my mentality approaching this. I have taken the car on 2 test drives. You are going to witness the second. The first one happened a couple of weeks or so ago. And I have taken advantage of the COVID situation insofar as I didn't have anybody from the dealership with me because I had my little co-pilot, and she's not vaccinated because she's 5. And both dealerships were absolutely fine with me taking out the car, once they had, license, proof of insurance, etc. And so I'm very grateful for the time they afforded me. And why I'm unhappy about this situation is that this also meant I was burning salespeople's time, and this isn't their job. This is something that should be handled by a marketing team. That said, I went through the vehicle the first time on my own recognizance, looking at the dimensions. Naturally, I was comparing it to the VW ID4, also the Tesla Model Y, because I think those are the cars that they're trying to compare it to or design against. And then I drove it the first time without cameras running, and really just had I had just under 30 minutes. I took it through a mixture of residential, through the hills, and on the highway. I then very usefully had time to process this offline and have a think about it, so that when I did the second test drive today, I could reaffirm and prioritize what needed clarification, and that is what you're going to see today. So I will now hand over to me and co-pilot L, and I'll let you know what we think about the Ford Mach-E, the Mustang Mach-E, and in the course of it you'll understand why I have trouble with the word Mustang in this. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We've got more content coming all the time. Be safe. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is regular EV Dad, and of course I have co-pilot London with me, because why wouldn't you? And we will ask Miss London's...
You can co-pilot.
And we will ask Miss London's opinion right at the end. And you join me today in the Mustang Model E, and I thought we're expanding the channel, And so let's talk about this. I looked at getting the Mustang Model E, the Mach E, when I was looking at the ID4. And a couple of things swayed me, and I wasn't able to take a test drive, so I'm very grateful that I've been able to actually get some real time with it today. And I considered it at the time, and that's really what I'm verification is, that there were some compromises in the design that I couldn't live with, that our situation couldn't live with. One of them was the room, and it's a very roomy vehicle. It really is. And I want you to know, first of all, I like this. There's a lot to like. On balance, very, very positive. However, there's some negative things. Well, let's talk about the positive things first. First of all, it's really well appointed, and I'm driving a California right now. I love the leather effect trim. I love the overall design on the outside, by the way. What they've done with silhouetting is genius. It really is. It has made a large vehicle more, I'm going to go with palatable. It does seem smaller. On the inside, yeah, this is great, and with the full screen, the full roof, as is, this is great, and comparable to the ID4, comparable to the Model Y. I think we all know at this point, you know, what competition they were designing against. On the inside, I love the appointment. This has got the B&O, the Bang & Olufsen sound system, which is really good, and just the sound system in an EV system is important, but you can get so much more out of it. You're not compensating for the engine, but you are compensating for the road noise and those elements. But I love this particular one has this carbon effect trim in black with the black leather. I'll show some more of that later on. I'll insert it around the video. The big screen and the infotainment, the control system, I don't know. I do like the setup here, the hood, the binnacle screen. I think this is very well laid out and well situated. This one doesn't have a hood, but it's a straight look down. I'm not taking my eyes off the road for any real period of time, and it's flawless. I will come on to one of my dislikes again. The entertainment system, it's great. It's not great. I can see where there's some software issues. I did put in some long routes. It did throw up some interesting charging situations, but I have to say, compared to the ID4, it's an improvement. Compared to the Tesla, it's not. But it's not the Tesla, and it's not trying to be. It's trying to be. It is. I would say it's honest. In itself, it's not. It's saying, well, Tesla's got a screen, we've got one, but we'll make different use of it. You could bring your own devices. The support for CarPlay, the support for Android Auto. That's all awesome. And then but then let's get to the handling of it. And so let's give it the beans. Yep, it's got some. I love the sound, and I will say this. It does have a little, I'm going to call it a turbine sound. my inner child likes that. It's not a V8, it's not a V12, but I do like that sound. Now, no one's really spoken about it. You're not having my hair. Okay, but can we talk about my hair afterwards? Thanks. As you can tell, we record live. So I love the little turbine sound you get when you give it the beans. That is to be liked. The acceleration is great, which is the same for any EV. You do feel this vehicle's weight. It is more noticeable in the handling than the ID4, and it's good and bad. As a cruiser, I like it. The weighting is good. It's stable. It's almost Mercedes like that heaviness when you're cruising. It's a sure-footedness. However, when you let's have some more fun again. However, at speed, we're doing 65 and I'm coming in, it rolls. There's a lot of roll coming over. And I'm not a fan of that. I'm pulling aside, which brings me to the seats. I mean, I'm sitting on these seats. I'm not sitting in them. I'm a purist. The best seat is, I love a BMW. They design the seat, then they build a car around it, but they always get the first bit right. It's a comfortable place to be. I am surprised, having heard about the other reviews, other people commenting about the bolster under the knees and that. Yeah, these seats feel short to me. I'm 6'4", but I have short legs. I've got 33-inch inside leg, and I will say that after a time, I'd like a deeper seat. I'm also a little frustrated by the positioning of the console, the center console down here. My leg is resting against against it. It's kind, it seems strange to have a hard plastic edge at that point. I mean, the acceleration's just phenomenal. The ride is, sorry, this is California's finest. This is 101, so but it's handling the bumps. It's giving a smooth ride. There's a lot to like. There's a lot to enjoy. Let's talk about the interior space. My trunk is one issue. It's a big trunk. I think the ID4 has a better laid out trunk, more usable trunk. Again, my use case is not a weekend with bags with the wife. It's all the kid stuff. It's, my dogs, my hunting dogs. It has a bigger, more usable space in the ID4. And again, that would be the same for the Model Y by comparison. This has a very angled back, and that basically means, length is nothing without height to go with it. Let me get to the thing that I don't like about this more than anything else. The brakes. I do not, and I was curious to see, so if I'm at 20 miles an hour and I'm coming to a stop, absolutely fine. But when I have a bit more speed, and I'll just bring it up a little over the speed limit, so I'm going to bring it up to 45, and now I'm going to apply the brakes. There's a delay and then a grab, a delay and a grab, and quite often it's more grab than delay. There's a point where it's like the software keying between the regen and the active brake pad usage isn't there. It's very mechanical. It's not pleasant. And when you're braking with speed in a turn, I know you should have got rid of the speed before you go into the turn, but you know, here in the real world in Commuterville, I don't like it. I do not like it. But that is just one thing. Let's be clear. That's one thing to not like. You know, the range, you're good for 250 miles and change, regardless of whatever the EPA says, and that's in the long range battery. The charging curve, Kyle Connor from Out of Spec has commented on this, so has Tom Maloney. It is a interesting charging curve. You plug it in at a 150, it will charge to 150, but it does it for a set time. It's not sensor based, it's time based, but allegedly they are making improvements to that. I'm not testing out the quick charging facility functions today. My focus here is just on just the car in general. I like it. There is a lot to like for a first iteration of large production EV specific. There's a lot to like. Let's talk about the Mustanginess of it though. So one other thing I don't like is the driving position. I'm very high up. This is an SUV. I'm higher up right now, and I've got this seat all the way down. And my eye line is maybe an inch down. I can't really capture this. An inch and a half down. That's my natural eye line. I'm very high in this vehicle. This seat is too high for me to be comfortable. And I know I'm sitting on top of the batteries and everything else. But I don't think I would be comfortable in this vehicle without this sunroof. By the way, I had the same experience in my Fiat 500e and other cars. Sometimes I've had cars which had a sunroof because there was more headroom afforded. This is I would be concerned about the roof. I am. There's the brakes. Very grabby. It's just not smooth. It's too abrupt. This is not a Mustang. I have driven Mustangs. I have driven vintage Mustangs. I have driven the last two, the post, what do you call them, the box platform. And I've enjoyed them, and they were performance cars. They were unwieldy, they were stupid, they were 5 liters, they were awesome. This isn't that. This is a high speed, there's that sound. Already doing more miles than you're meant to be. It's very nice. It's good at what it does, but yeah. This is an SUV. This is a high-speed electric SUV. This isn't a Mustang. This is a branding exercise to get them out the door, to establish Ford's credibility, and to hit the performance premium and performance part of the market to get a return on what has been a very big investment. Now, hopefully, we're going to see further returns on that investment with the battery technology that they've developed and are using in the Lightning and beyond. But this isn't a Mustang. This is an SUV. Overall, I like it. I really do. Would I have one? Would I put my money down for it? No. It's refined, but it's not refined enough. The brakes are an issue, and the charging curve is too strange. I like predictability. I like performance, but I want all those boring things like brakes and charging to be predictive. let's get the opinion that counts. Co-pilot London, what do you think of this car? Do you like it? Well, I think that's pretty much the same thing as Jeremy Clarkson commenting on the Vauxhall Vectra. Yeah, she doesn't like it. We're giving this to Jeremy. It would be better with unicorns. Thank you very much. All right, so in conclusion, we're giving this a Jeremy Clarkson 4 Vauxhall Vectras out of 5, which is damning. I don't think they could come back from this. But anyway, hey, I hope you found this useful. If you haven't found it useful, I hope you found it entertaining. And if you liked it, and you haven't subscribed to the channel, and apparently only 20% of you that watch this have, please subscribe to the channel. It changes everything for us, and it costs you nothing. And with that, I'm going to say thank you.
No, I need to talk to them.
And be safe.
I have to talk to them.
Okay, Lennon. Yeah, so let me paraphrase that because the microphones aren't good. London learns a valuable lesson recently, which is you don't paint on the walls or put pictures on the walls at home, you do it on the paper. And if I do shoot a little bit of footage, I'll include some images right now of what that means. And yes, and you have to listen.
But you have to be very quiet. You don't want to do that on your paper because someone can hear you down there.
Okay, thank you. Hey, and with that, support her college fund by making this channel a success. And subscribe, like, and thank you. Have a great day. Be safe.